choice.
I think so too. If anyone can do it, this guy absolutely can, and we are ready to go, guys. The map is loaded, and here we go in the upper right part of it. In the red, we have our Zerg player from the team MVP. He needs to win this game, and then 2 more to win this series. It is MVP.DongRaeGu. And down in the bottom left in the blue, playing Protoss from Team Liquid, up 2-0 already in this series. All he needs to do is win this game to go on to the finals. It is Liquid HerO.
And if DongRaeGu can't find a way to come back, we're actually just 1 game away from a best-of-5 rematch between DongRaeGu and MMA, which DongRaeGu actually won the first round of that very handily in Winners Round 1.
Well, that would be fascinating, actually, to see those guys battle it out in the lower bracket finals, to see who goes on. And, I mean, DRG's got his work cut out for him. I mean, he is a lot of people, you know, what a lot of people would consider the best Zerg player, maybe the best player in the world right now, but being down 2-0 to a player like Liquid HerO is a situation that nobody wants to be in. It's going to be really difficult for him to win 3 games in a row, but, you know, we've seen him make comebacks of this nature before, you know, against MMA, actually, in the Blizzard Finals last year, the World Championships, rather. He was down 3 games. He came back and won the next 3, and even though he didn't end up winning the series, he showed that he has the ability to come back in situations like this.
I was actually really close to turning off that set, I have to say. Went down 3-0. It was really late at night, and I was like, I don't know, man. I think I'm just going to go to bed. And I did it. It ended up being awesome.
I remember, I was watching that live as well, and it was exciting. So, will DRG be able to do it? Getting his spawning pool right now, going to be putting down his first base, his first expansion, rather, in the near future.
Yeah, pretty
soon.
soon.
What will HerO decide to do? Looks like he's going to go ahead and get a Nexus first this game.
Yes, and
maybe.
No,
no.
Okay.
Oh, he's thinking about it.
And he is going to go for a Nexus first. Looks like he is able to block for long enough. We've seen a lot of Zerg players recently actually just send out 2 drones at the very beginning when they're playing a Protoss player. They'll send one directly to the third and one over to the natural, so the probe has to pick. Well, you can block one of them, but you can't block both. So, and it looks like HerO not even going to bother putting down a pylon at all. Just going to kind of back out after denying his opponent's natural right up at the front.
Now, both games so far, DongRaeGu has been getting his gas geysers, getting his offensive units a little bit later than you see a lot of Zerg players do it. Not too much later, but later enough that I think it's made it fairly easy for HerO to make that decision to go for a really aggressive 2-base play. So this game, I feel like DRG, you know, again, he needs to be diligent with his scouting like he has been, but also maybe needs to cut the economy a little bit earlier. Now, Daybreak is a map that no Zerg wants to do that, but given the situation in the first 2 games, I think he's strongly considering it.
I think DongRaeGu was actually the player who hit the quickest max or something like that in a televised game, 11 minutes 30 seconds, and I think we were
really
starting.
fast.
I think we were starting to see the beginnings of that right there. He was at 100 supply just purely off of drones at about the 9-minute mark, something like that. So I see what he was going for, but HerO was just perfectly positioned to attack just before he started to make units. I mean, HerO really did his research. Clearly, these are builds that are just absolutely designed to kill DongRaeGu.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is Protoss players, you know, they relied so often on 2-base timings for so long. I mean, SKMC won a lot of championships with that. A lot of other Protoss players have been winning a lot with it. And then we saw, you know, Protoss players experimenting a lot with a lot of more economy-friendly styles in PvZ. You know, MC himself even, HerO as well, going for that more economy-driven style. But in the end, a lot of Protoss players lately are going back to the 2-base style because it is just so good. I really feel like 2-base all-ins right now in this matchup generally do give you the best chance to win.
Well, I think in this specific matchup between DongRaeGu and HerO as well, if DongRaeGu can kind of drag it out to the long term, he's going to be in a very strong spot. Remember back in Team Arena Challenge, we actually had Liquid HerO go up against, who was the Zerg player in Tomb Valley? The game went for an hour and 15 minutes, something like that.
That was Anyang Prime.
You're correct, and he ended up, Anyang ended up winning that game because HerO took it to the super late game and kind of made some questionable decisions. Didn't kill his opponent when he had opportunities, went up to super strong carriers, things like that.
Look at this. A very quick Robo Bay, actually, from Liquid HerO. Interesting. I wonder what he's planning. Could even be something like what we saw in Game 1, although he's not getting that really quick +1 with this. So we'll have to see. I mean, he could also just be using it for an observer. There's a lot of good Immortal pushes that rely on getting that Robo fairly early as well. So we'll have to see, but something of note at least.
Yeah, and I don't think that's a bad decision at all. I mean, coming up at about the 6-minute mark, a little bit before, I guess I should say, is when it was started.
Yep.
And this offers a lot of flexibility. We've seen people that have gone after just huge amounts of sentries and take a quick third behind this. We do have Stalkers chasing off Zerglings on the left-hand side. We've even seen a lot of Protoss players recently go over to a Nexus here and then starting to build the wall in from this side just to remain a little bit more safe, but you don't have to wall off the entire area, which is what some Protoss players were confused about for a long time. I really want to take a third on Daybreak, but it's so exposed.
Yeah, now DRG did go ahead and get his stuff a little bit earlier this game, and that's really all it takes. It's almost not even noticeable, but when you really look at the timings that come from Protoss versus Zerg, it does make a big difference. So DRG is going to be a little bit more prepared for the types of pushes that HerO's been throwing at him in Game 1 and Game 2, also going up to what looks like 5 gas already. No, it is just 4 gas against his opponent at the moment. So it will be an Immortal push from Liquid HerO. Generally, that's what a lot of Protoss players do on this map. Sentry Immortal is really, really strong. You can kind of follow the narrow running paths to your opponent's base, force field their army off in different chunks, and then use the Immortals to really easily handle those roaches.
Now, DongRaeGu, as you mentioned before, though, is going to be a little bit more prepared for any sort of early pressure. Layer Tech is already well on the way, and while he has sacrificed just a little bit of supply, he's still sitting on 65 drones. He can go up to a huge number of attack units and still be on pretty fine economy. Liquid HerO adding on another 6 gates, so 7-gate, huge 3 Immortal push. I mean, we've seen this quite a bit.
Oh, yeah. Yep, he's going to make a few more sentries. There's another one getting warped in, and then he is going to push and try to win not just this game, but the series 3-0 against DRG, and that would just be insane if DRG lost the series, 3-0 to anybody, really. I mean, he is, basically unstoppable, although HerO put in that probe in position like he wants to take a third as well, and you can still do this push with a third base. Comes a little bit later, but it's still pretty strong. He's going to time with 1-1.
Oh, did those Zerglings see it as they went out?
I don't.
Oh, he does with the Overlord. I was like, how does he still have vision? That's just silly.
Yep.
Oh. As an Overlord.
There it is. Yeah, he does see it right away. So, we'll see. I mean, this could be a few more mind games out of HerO as well. I mean, he's got what it takes to do a really strong push right now. He doesn't necessarily need this third base, but he could do it just to kind of mess with DRG as well if he wanted to.
And we do have Burrow coming up now along with +1 weapons, and the Roach Speed is on the way as well. There we do have, where's that robotics facility? There we go. Warp Prism is coming up now, and HerO is just kind of his preferred method of staying safe. A lot of sentries and a lot of Immortals. A good way to stay safe. And now starting to warp in a fair number of Stalkers as well. But DongRaeGu already on about 140 supply and continuing to chug across the map with drops being researched as well.
Oh, he needs to be careful though not to get those Zerglings in a bad spot. That is so many sentries out of Liquid HerO. DRG needs to be really careful about how he engages this. The choice of the Warp Prism rather than a forward pylon is a good one for HerO as well. Just because he doesn't need to worry about it being taken out, because DRG doesn't have anything that can hit air at the moment outside of Queens. And here we go, HerO halfway across the map right now. DRG trying to find that good location to flank, but it's tough on Daybreak, man. I mean, when your opponent has that many sentries, it's difficult sometimes to find a good spot for that.
Now, HerO's taken a little while to pull this off. DongRaeGu's done a nice job of just ducking back inside every time and delaying this force. And if he can take out this forward pylon, it's going to be pretty good for his cause as well. Actually trying to hit a couple of Zealots before they're able to come up. And HerO going to make his way off to the right now. But DongRaeGu has a lot of forces. Will DongRaeGu be able to hold?
Oh, look at this. DRG trying to come in from both sides of force fields from Liquid HerO, trying to split those units off. DRG gets some roaches through, but not a lot. The force field for Liquid HerO are so good. Oh man, DRG just is not able to engage with enough forces right now.
He does take out a lot of the sentries up in the front though, and I want to point out this is actually a third base cancel from HerO. He actually showed it and canceled the Nexus off to the left-hand side. So what a crazy cool strategy, two-way strategy from him. Now popping up with a few more roaches is DongRaeGu trying to reinforce it with a few additional units, but HerO is just running through these roaches so efficiently.
Yeah, with 3 Immortals, they take out roaches so quickly. I mean, Liquid HerO's got that Guardian Shield upgrade, or not upgrade, Force 4. The sentries and DRG rapidly losing units yet again. Another warp in comes down, another Guardian Shield, and look at that micro picking up the Immortal right before it dies into that Warp Prism.
That's so well done. And this hatchery is going to fall just almost immediately. Those Immortals are so strong, especially with the +1 upgrades as well. And HerO may be rolling to a 3-0 victory. This is just astounding.
HerO's Warp Prism play is just so good. Look at that, picking up the Stalkers. Look at that micro from HerO, not losing hardly any units at all, fighting this army so efficiently.
This is just really remarkable play out of HerO, I have to say. I mean, every one of these games has been designed to just specifically kill DRG.
Wow.
HerO just 3-0 DRG, and he gets himself into the grand finals.
Yeah, Liquid HerO really showing how two-base PvZ can be played. He also canceled his